wish you could be the boss of your home Wi-Fi? Well, with Home Zone by Silver Star, now you can. It's like having your own Wi-Fi command center right in your pocket. Whether it's setting up a guest network for visitors, controlling what your kids can access, or checking your connection speed, Home Zone has you covered. With Protect IQ, you'll have a virtual bodyguard for your Wi-Fi, blocking unwanted threats before they reach your devices. Home Zone by Silver Star. Wi-Fi control, coverage, and security all in one.
The winter sledding season will be here before you know it. Make sure you're ready for the best winter yet by making your reservations at Kodiak Mountain Resort in Afton, Wyoming. The resort is located just minutes away from some of the best backcountry sledding in the Rocky Mountains, regardless of experience. And with plenty of trailer parking and a large complimentary breakfast, there is no place better to stay while you enjoy the Wyoming winter. Book your stay today by visiting KodiakMountainResort.com. B&H Auto in Afton has been serving the Star Valley community for over 10 years. With a qualified and trained staff, you can trust B&H Auto for brakes, maintenance, repairs, tires, and more. That's B&H Auto on the north end of Afton. Service you can ride on.
What are you doing?
Less stress with Stress Reducer.
I'm teaching customers the power of patience to reduce stress while they wait to talk to somebody about their vehicle issues.
I don't know, man. Sitting like this is stressing my legs out.
He doesn't have to wait. He made an appointment online. When his car is ready, we'll give him a call.
Now that sounds less stressful.
Another satisfied customer.
No stress with Point S.
The Bank of Star Valley would like to congratulate Ryan Talbot on being this week's Man of the Week. Congratulations, Ryan.
My name's Ryan Talbot, son of Ashley and Todd Larson. I'm an O-lineman. I'm a senior, and I'm from Auburn.
Live coverage of Star Valley Sports on the SVI Sports Network is made possible by TerraPower, a nuclear innovation company. The Right Company, your local siding and gutter experts. Call Ready Mix, located north of Afton. Miles Beverage, proud to sponsor Star Valley Sports. Hillam Orthodontics, generations serving generations since 1966. And by Star Valley Glass and Lock, automotive, residential, and commercial glass.
For 18 years, Miles CPA has been your trusted partner in Star Valley, blending experience and expertise to support our community's financial needs. With a combined 75 years of experience, our dedicated team includes 3 skilled CPAs, along with 3 specialized bookkeepers. We're thrilled to welcome Amanda Wilford, our newest CPA, to the Miles CPA family. Together, we offer unmatched services in bookkeeping, payroll, business consulting, and tax preparation. Your financial success is our priority. Miles CPA, always a strong supporter of Star Valley Braves sports and activities. Go Braves!
It's my happy day, I want to sing it all the day. My best friends are always with me. We sing, we dance, we laugh, we are happy every day. Have fun with us, let's say happy, 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 happy. Happy.
There's no place to enjoy the fall season like Alpine, Wyoming. Enjoy fly fishing on the Salt and Snake Rivers, camping and hunting up the Grays in the Wyoming Range, hike the trails in the Bridger-Teton National Forest, or bring your off-road vehicles and enjoy the backcountry. And with plenty of lodging and dining options at affordable prices, you just can't beat the fall season in Alpine. Experience the fall season like Mother Nature intended in scenic Alpine, Wyoming.
At First Bank of Wyoming, we know you're more than just a number. We know the important numbers that matter most, the ones that tell your story. From starting your financial journey to planning for your first home and reaching your family's financial goals, we're here to celebrate your story, not just your transactions. From milestones to memories, we're here to celebrate every moment that counts. When you bank with us, you're part of a community that cares about every number that counts. First Bank of Wyoming, where you're more than a number.
In the heart of the Rockies, land is more than property. It's a legacy. Whether you're buying a family ranch, a mountain retreat, or selling farmland, it takes local knowledge and trusted hands. Austin Callison and Andy Neal, licensed in Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming, bring unmatched experience with Hayden Outdoors, the West's premier land brokerage. Hayden Outdoors Real Estate, the brand that sells the land.
Get to know your 2025 Star Valley Braves, presented by the University of Wyoming. Just visit svinews.com/football roster for pictures, details, and more. That's svinews.com/football roster.
In healthcare these days, you just don't find a place like Star Valley Health. We really do focus on providing the best care.
Our employees take so much pride in their positions. They know that if their kids get sick, if they get sick, if somebody gets in a car accident, that there is that personal tie.
They get to see the change that they make in their life, so it's fun to be involved.
Star Valley Disposal and Royal Flush Septic have been serving the local community for over 25 years with residential, commercial, and construction services, along with porta potties and septic pumping. Please remember to always bag your garbage before placing it into your can. Even the smallest breeze can cause garbage to scatter everywhere as it is being dumped into our garbage trucks. For service and questions, visit StarValleyDisposal.com. That's StarValleyDisposal.com.
I think being in a small town, you just really care and you take more pride in the work that you do because you're working with your neighbors. These are people that you see out in the community. You know, you see them at kids' sporting events and parent-teacher conferences and the grocery store. You know, these are our neighbors.
One of the reasons that people also come back to us is they trust us because we are friends, we are family. And so I think there's a lot of trust in the community.
Where do legends come from? Some start as dreamers, even after they're turned down again and again. But everyone deserves a chance to prove themselves.
You know, this is the place that gave me an opportunity to come here and play the game that I love.
At the University of Wyoming, we're the team that believes you can do anything. This is where underdogs come to shine and where real MVPs are made.
Working at Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine is more than just a job. For many, it's a multi-generational career path. It's a way to provide a suitable living for you and your family. It's an environment based on the well-being of each and every employee, with an intense emphasis on safety. So whether you're a recent high school graduate or nearing retirement, visit Simplot.com and select careers. That's Simplot.com and select careers. Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine, a world of career opportunities.
At Fall River Propane, we're not just your propane provider. We're the ones who make sure life keeps moving. Fall River Propane. Experience the difference.
In healthcare these days, you just don't find a place like Star Valley Health. We really do focus on providing the best care.
Our employees take so much pride in their positions. They know that if their kids get sick, if they get sick, if somebody gets in a car accident, that there is that personal tie.
They get to see the change that they make in their life, so it's fun to be involved.
At Western, students don't just earn degrees. They experience growth, friendships, and opportunities. Western Wyoming Community College. Enter here with passion and leave with purpose.
Ever wish you could be the boss of your home Wi-Fi? Well, with HomeZone by Silver Star, now you can. It's like having your own Wi-Fi command center right in your pocket. Whether it's setting up a guest network for visitors, controlling what your kids can access, or checking your connection speed, HomeZone has you covered. With Protect IQ, you'll have a virtual bodyguard for your Wi-Fi, blocking unwanted threats before they reach your devices. HomeZone by Silver Star. Wi-Fi control, coverage, and security all in one.
The winter sledding season will be here before you know it. Make sure you're ready for the best winter yet by making your reservations at Kodiak Mountain Resort in Afton, Wyoming. The resort is located just minutes away from some of the best backcountry sledding in the Rocky Mountains, regardless of experience. And with plenty of trailer parking and a large complimentary breakfast, there is no place better to stay while you enjoy the Wyoming winter. Book your stay today by visiting KodiakMountainResort.com. B&H Auto in Afton has been serving the Star Valley community for over 10 years. With a qualified and trained staff, you can trust B&H Auto for brakes, maintenance, repairs, tires, and more. That's B&H Auto on the north end of Afton. Service you can ride on.
What are you doing?
I'm teaching customers the power of patience to reduce stress while they wait to talk to somebody about their vehicle issues.
I don't know, man. Sitting like this is stressing my legs out.
He doesn't have to wait. He made an appointment online. When his car is ready, we'll give him a call.
Now that sounds less stressful.
Another satisfied customer.
No stress with Point S.
The Bank of Star Valley would like to congratulate Ryan Talbot on being this week's Man of the Week. Congratulations, Ryan.
My name is Ryan Talbot, son of Ashley and Todd Larson. I'm an O-lineman. I'm a senior, and I'm from Auburn.
Live coverage of Star Valley sports on the SBI Sports Network is made possible by TerraPower, a nuclear innovation company. The Right Company, your local siding and gutter experts. Call Ready Mix, located north of Afton. Miles Beverage, proud to sponsor Star Valley Sports. Hillam Orthodontics, generations serving generations since 1966. And by Star Valley Glass and Lock, automotive, residential, and commercial glass.
For 18 years, Miles CPA has been your trusted partner in Star Valley, blending experience and expertise to support our community's financial needs. With a combined 75 years of experience, our dedicated team includes 3 skilled CPAs, along with 3 specialized bookkeepers. We're thrilled to welcome Amanda Wilford, our newest CPA, to the Miles CPA family. Together, we offer unmatched services in bookkeeping, payroll, business consulting, and tax preparation. Your financial success is our priority. Miles CPA, always a strong supporter of Star Valley Braves sports and activities. Go Braves!
My happy friends are always with me. We sing, we dance, we laugh, we are happy every day. Have fun with us, let's say happy, 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 happy.
There's no place to enjoy the fall season like Alpine, Wyoming. Enjoy fly fishing on the Salt and Snake Rivers, camping and hunting up the Grays in the Wyoming Range, hike the trails in the Bridger-Teton National Forest, or bring your off-road vehicles and enjoy the backcountry. And with plenty of lodging and dining options at affordable prices, you just can't beat the fall season in Alpine. Experience the fall season like Mother Nature intended in scenic Alpine, Wyoming.
At First Bank of Wyoming, we know you're more than just a number. We know the important numbers that matter most, the ones that tell your story. From starting your financial journey to planning for your first home and reaching your family's financial goals, we're here to celebrate your story, not just your transactions. From milestones to memories, we're here to celebrate every moment that counts. When you bank with us, you're part of a community that cares about every number that counts. First Bank of Wyoming, where you're more than a number.
In the heart of the Rockies, land is more than property. It's a legacy. Whether you're buying a family ranch, a mountain retreat, or selling farmland, it takes local knowledge and trusted hands. Austin Callison and Andy Neal, licensed in Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming, bring unmatched experience with Hayden Outdoors, the West's premier land brokerage. Hayden Outdoors Real Estate, the brand that sells the land.
This is the First Bank of Wyoming Countdown to Kickoff, live on the SVI Sports Network. Stop by your local Star Valley branches in Alpine and Afton.
Is off to a 1-0 start, pushing the consecutive win streak for the program to 22 W's in a row. One more win tonight would tie the school's all-time record, and if it were to happen, it would take place during another Eastern Idaho road trip in Preston. But win streak aside, a roster that boasts 28 returning seniors is hoping to pick up another W to keep their own undefeated season alive and continue down their path for what would be a fourth consecutive state title, what they hope for at the end of the year. Tonight, on an overcast evening in Preston, the Star Valley Braves don the road jerseys in the hunt for another notch in the victory column, and it's live on SVI Media, Swift 98, and the SVI Sports Network. Duke Dance with you, joined with Dal Erickson. Thank you for being with us on another edition of Friday Night Lights in Star Valley football. Now we got a little taste of what Braves were going to have in store last week, and much like we've seen in recent seasons, it's a team that's deep in running back. They're physical on the front line, and they can toss the pigskin around too.
And another thing that we talked about even leading into last week that's going to be a theme throughout the entire season, but I think it was reiterated and emphasized last week, is this is a huge senior class, and the majority of this senior class has been waiting their turn. They are hungry. They want to write their own chapter, and tonight they get another chance to do that here in Preston.
Of course, we saw new first-year starting quarterback Phoenix Hovey take the majority of snaps under center last week. He found a variety of targets in the likes of Cooper Lancaster, Dax Button, Zach Thompson, Roman Erickson, Travis Thompson, just to name a few. And then you have carrying the football, Dylan Hershey, Kyan Watson, Nathan Hatterley. You have the likes of Ryan Talbot up front, Will Linford and Tate Lawson at tight ends. Now the list goes on and on. That's just a few of the studs and stars on this year's team.
Well, I think you're absolutely right. And not only that, I think the coaching staff, that was kind of an opening salvo, if you will. I don't think what last week's effort is necessarily going to be, I mean, you're going to see elements of that throughout the season, but if you're thinking, oh, that's what the team's going to be like this year, I have no idea. And I think they're still moving pieces around. I think there's going to be just an absolute wealth of options offensively and defensively with the team they have, and tonight's another chance to kind of solidify some things that they might use down the road.
On the opposite side this evening, the Preston Indians and their home Blues, they come from Idaho's 5A classification, 1-0 7-1 overall, coming off a loss last week to Blackfoot 28-7. They have played the Shelley Russ. It's just as Star Valley had. That was a 37-17 win for these Preston Indians. And so if you want to make that common opponent correlation, there it is.
Well, when I look at this Preston team, just looking at those two results, I'll bet this entire week their coaching staff has been preaching second half. Because against Shelley, they dominated the second half, and they pulled away and blew out the Russets. Last weekend, it kind of went the other way for them. The Blackfoot Broncos controlled the second half. So tonight, what's it going to be? More like the Shelley game or more like the Blackfoot game for Preston? I'm sure the coach has been emphasizing that second half all week long.
We are about 30 minutes away from tip-off time at Preston, Idaho tonight. And, of course, it is the First Bank of Wyoming countdown to kick off. Your home for totally free checking, where free really does mean free. Visit gofirstbank.com. On the way, we'll have your Jake Hibbert studio report. He'll lead us into that in a few. Your Crimson Corner of the Roundup. A tidbit of history as John Little takes us back to the 2015 Star Valley Braves season, where they broke the 19-year state championship drought. That's on the way in just a few. We'll recap the rivalry between Star Valley Preston, have your records watch, keys of the game, sideline report, and of course your starters all ahead of the national anthem and kickoff. When we come back, we'll have your senior spotlight, talking football and wildfires with Star Valley senior Cooper Lancaster. That's next on the SBI Sports Network. Get to know your 2025 Star Valley Braves, presented by the University of Wyoming. Just visit svinews.com/football roster for pictures, details, and more. That's svinews.com/football roster.
For 18 years, Miles CPA has been your trusted partner in Star Valley, blending experience and expertise to support our community's financial needs. With a combined 75 years of experience, our dedicated team includes 3 skilled CPAs, along with 3 specialized bookkeepers. We're thrilled to welcome Amanda Wilford, our newest CPA, to the Miles CPA family. Together, we offer unmatched services in bookkeeping, payroll, business consulting, and tax preparation. Your financial success is our priority. Miles CPA, always a strong supporter of Star Valley Braves sports and activities. Go Braves!
In healthcare these days, you just don't find a place like Star Valley Health. We really do focus on providing the best care.
Our employees take so much pride in their positions. They know that if their kids get sick, if they get sick, if somebody gets in a car accident, that there is that personal tie.
They get to see the change that they make in their life, so it's fun to be involved.
Star Valley Disposal and Royal Flush Septic have been serving the local community for over 25 years with residential, commercial, and construction services, along with porta potties and septic pumping. Please remember to always bag your garbage before placing it into your can. Even the smallest breeze can cause garbage to scatter everywhere as it is being dumped into our garbage trucks. For service and questions, visit StarValleyDisposal.com. That's StarValleyDisposal.com.
Game time. This is the First Bank of Wyoming countdown to kickoff on the SVI Sports Network.
Live from Preston, Idaho, it's Star Valley football on SVI Media and Swift 98 with the First Bank of Wyoming countdown to kickoff. Duke and Dow with you here live as Star Valley warms up to take on the Preston Indians in what is officially week 1 in Wyoming high school sports. Last week being a 0-week week. This one being week 1. However, on the records, last week's game counted for the Braves, so they're 1-0. Heading into week 1, I guess, is how you look at that. Coming up in just a few, we'll have Jake Hibbert join us with his studio report. But first, I had the chance to catch up with Star Valley High School senior Cooper Lancaster, talk about the win last week against Shelley, talk about preparing for this game against Preston, and also talk about doing it all in the middle of a wildfire on the family ranch. Here's your senior spotlight with Cooper Lancaster on SVI.
Hardest teachers in the school district right now. What's it like having your dad in the halls and on the field with you all the time?
Well, kind of last few days I might have been a little late, and he let me know about that. But it's been good. It's fun to have him. He lets lets me get away with a few things sometimes. So,
got to be some perks, right? Got to be something. Well, I wanted to have you on this week, Cooper, not to just talk football, but you guys and your family had a pretty close and albeit maybe scary seat to the Willow Creek fire burning literally in your backyard. What was that like? Maybe just tell us from a perspective for your family when that thing started and then just watching it grow, especially those first 24, 48 hours.
I mean, it was definitely stressful, especially the first night. Came home from 2-a-days, I think it was, and I just looked on the horizon. It was just like a bunch of orange burning. So, I mean, it was stressful. We had to get some cows off the forest, and we ended up getting all those, so that was good. But, I mean, eventually when we realized it wasn't going to, like, affect us too bad, it was kind of cool to enjoy the views. But, I mean, it wasn't a great thing, so.
Now, of course, it burned a lot of your ranch land and things where your family's been forever. How about the evacuation and all that? What was that like for you guys and the family?
Well, I'll definitely say my mom was a lot more stressed than my dad. My dad cared about the animals, so we got those moved out, and then honestly, we just stayed there. He didn't want to leave, so it wasn't too stressful.
Yeah. Now, of course, amidst all this, you're trying to get ready for the first football game of the season. You had Shelly coming up just before that. So how did you balance that sort of distraction of everything going on at home with all that and still knowing I got to play football this Friday night?
I mean, honestly, Coach Young was pretty helpful. He offered help to us all the time, and then honestly, just when I'm on the football field, it kind of helps clear the distractions. So that helped out.
Excellent. So let's talk football then. You guys get the win on the road against Shelly. What were the takeaways as a team from that game now that you've had a chance to look back on it?
It definitely showed us what we can do good and what we need to work on. I think it showed that we need to work on our run game a little bit, on defense, and then on offense, we just need to work on being consistent, just working down the field. So it helped us a lot.
Now, of course, you guys have Preston this week. Talk to me more about your role as a senior. You've been getting varsity time on the field since a sophomore. How is it different now, though, that you are the senior and one of the leaders on the field?
I definitely think like communication. Like the past few years, I've been listening to I've been a safety with like Bryson Nield and all those other guys, and like usually I just listen to them and they'd make up all the calls. But now me and Dylan, we have to make a lot of the calls, and I mean it's helped me out a lot as a leader. So.
All right. How about the game specifically against Preston? Anything specific you or the team are focusing on this week?
Definitely Preston's pass game. They always have athletes at the receivers, and they have a good quarterback. He likes to run it a lot and throw it. So our secondary, we're just gonna work on limiting big plays and trying to keep them from getting any yards on the short plays also.
Cooper Lancaster, a senior spotlight on SVI. All right, Cooper, the big questions outside of Mr. Lancaster's class. What's your favorite class in school this year?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'd have to say internship. I get to do with a lawyer, and that's pretty fun. So.
Okay, is that something you may want to do in the future? Go into legal?
Yeah, I think that's definitely an option. That's one of my top options right now, but we'll see where it takes me.
Okay. Now, of course, you have your whole senior year ahead of you. Do you have plans after high school or still working on it?
I do. I plan on going on a mission, and then I plan on heading to college. Don't know where that's going to be yet, but we'll see with sports and school where it takes me.
Okay, if you could live anywhere in the world, money's no question, pick anywhere, where would you have picked to live?
I'd say Star Valley. There's so many good things to do around here. I'd probably stay here. Hawaii and Alaska. Those would be a good option, but I'd probably stay home in Star Valley.
That's very cool. What's your favorite breakfast cereal?
Captain Crunch, by far.
No hesitation. No hesitation. How about favorite candy bar?
Oh shoot. I'd have to say 100 grand. It's pretty good.
That is Cooper Lancaster, our senior spotlight on the SVI Sports Network.
I think being in a small town, you just really care and you take more pride in the work that you do because you're working with your neighbors. These are people that you see out in the community. You know, you see them at kids' sporting events and parent-teacher conferences and the grocery store. You know, these are our neighbors.
One of the reasons that people also come back to us is they trust us because we are friends, we are family. And so I think there's a lot of trust in the community.
Where do legends come from? Some start as dreamers,
even after they're turned down again and again. But everyone deserves a chance to prove themselves.
You know, this is the place that gave me an opportunity to come here and play the game that I love.
At the University of Wyoming, we're the team that believes you can do anything. This is where underdogs come to shine and where real MVPs are made.
Working at Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine is more than just a job. For many, it's a multi-generational career path. It's a way to provide a suitable living for you and your family. It's an environment based on the well-being of each and every employee, with an intense emphasis on safety. So whether you're a recent high school graduate or nearing retirement, visit Simplot.com and select careers. That's Simplot.com and select careers. Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine, a world of career opportunities.
The countdown to kickoff is presented by First Bank of Wyoming. Online at gofirstbank.com.
Live from Preston, Idaho, Star Valley warming up to take on the Indians in what would be a second win of the season, and 2-0 for Star Valley if they're able to win today against a Preston team that is currently sitting at 1-1. Well, Jake Hibbert is back with us again today to chat about how much we know, or how little that is, even after 0 week in 3A, and also talk about some of the games of the week going on around the state, including that big one between Riverton and Cody. That's a 2 versus 3, and also Douglas Jackson tonight. Here's the details with Jake Hibbert and the Hibbert Studio Report, presented by the Lincoln County Weed and Pest.
Gave her at running back, and Sheets split out wide. Hey guys, thanks so much. Week 1 means something a little bit different to every team in Wyoming, depending on how they spent their 0 week. Some played a full game, some scrimmaged. And that's the opposing ends that we find tonight's game of the week in 3A. Number 3 Riverton hosting number 2 Cody. Riverton played a full game last week and handled a really young Powell team. And now they host Cody, the perennial state power, for a game that I think is going to be referenced later in the year when we start looking at playoff matchups. We know this veteran Riverton team and their version of the triplets of Blake Gantenbein at quarterback, Hunter Saltzgaver at running back, and Sheets split out wide. But unless you were in Cody last Friday to watch the scrimmage of Lander and Glen Rock and Cody, well, then you don't really know what to expect from this year's Broncs. And count me in with that. But if I had to make one prediction about them this year, it's that they'll probably once again be the fastest team in 3A across position groups. The other ranked matchup in 3A in Week 1 kicks off at 7 o'clock and is number 5 Jackson at number 4 Douglas. And I think those rankings really just illustrate how hard it is to accurately assess the 3A pecking order this early in the season. Because what do we really have to go on? Jackson came from behind last week to defeat Linfield Christian, playing in Temecula, California. How much does a win over the reigning Mesquite League champs of California's Southern Division mean? Yeah, I don't know either. So hopefully we'll know a little bit more about Douglas and Jackson after this week. Green River is at Lander tonight, and I think it's a good barometer to see if Green River's offense is going to be able to move the ball this year, and probably more important, if their defense is able to make a stop against Lander's shotgun flex offense. And Evanston's on the road tonight in Colorado Springs, taking on Vista Ridge, in a game that I think the Red Devils are just trying to keep closer than they did a year ago. Games tonight I'm following in the 3A ranks. The 2A Newcastle Dogies are hosting the Buffalo Bison. Rollins is at Pinedale. The Torrington Trailblazers are at 2A Wheatland. And finally, 2A Worland is at Powell. As we mentioned, Powell, a really young team of freshmen and sophomores. I think this could be a great growth opportunity for a team that really needs some preseason work in a young Powell team. Be checking in with me tonight for all the highlights throughout the game and at halftime, post-game as well. Thanks so much. I'll send it back to the field to you.
Thank you, Jake Hibbert. That's with the Jake Hibbert Studio Report with the Lincoln County Weed and Pest. Help keep Star Valley beautiful. Please spray knapweed at your homes and businesses. Contact the Lincoln County Weed and Pest for details. That's the Lincoln County Weed and Pest. Tonight, it's Star Valley and Preston in Idaho. More live coverage continues with the First Bank of Wyoming countdown to kickoff on the SVI Sports Network.
At Fall River Propane, we're not just your propane provider. We're the ones who make sure life keeps moving. Fall River Propane. Experience the difference.
In healthcare these days, you just don't find a place like Star Valley Health. We really do focus on providing the best care.
Our employees take so much pride in their positions. They know that if their kids get sick, if they get sick, if somebody gets in a car accident, that there is that personal tie.
They get to see the change that they make in their life, so it's fun to be involved.
At Western, students don't just earn degrees. They experience growth, friendships, and opportunities. Western Wyoming Community College. Enter here with passion and leave with purpose.
You're watching live coverage of Star Valley Braves football on the SVI Sports Network. Here's Duke Dance and
Live from
Dal
Preston
Erickson.
High School, this is the First Bank of Wyoming countdown to kickoff, where you're more than just an account number. Visit your local branches in Alpine and Afton and visit them online at gofirstbank.com. Duke Dance, Dal Erickson here with you, and we are about 12 minutes away from kickoff time. Dal, how about your Crimson Corner presented by the Star Valley Independent?
Well, starting off with the cross-country team, good luck to them tomorrow. They'll be running at the Cardinal Classic in Soda Springs, just down the road a piece. Golf played at Green River earlier this week. The girls took first, the boys took second. Those are team finishes. Kate Ricks and Amelia Green finishing second and third individually in that tournament. Dalton Decora and Deegan Hill finishing fifth and sixth, respectively, on the boys' side. Volleyball, they've been in Evanston at the Border Wars today. They'll be there again tomorrow. The ladies went 2-2 today with wins over Mountain View and Lander. They lost to North Summit and also to Bonneville. Tomorrow they will take on Cheyenne East, Bear Lake, Hillcrest, and Powell. And getting you caught up on some underclassmen football scores, the JV Braves defeating Preston yesterday 48-0 in Afton. The freshman team just barely winning on this field about an hour ago, 55-30. That's a look at your Crimson Corner from the Star Valley Independent.
Sign up for a print subscription, sign up for a digital subscription, or sign up for both. It's easy to do online. Just visit svinews.com/subscribe and get your subscription today to the Star Valley Independent. Now, how about the roundup with the help of Sunrise Engineering?
Well, to me, the game of the week in 4A is Central at Campbell County. That should be a good one. Cheyenne South is at East. Kelly Walsh at Laramie. That could be a pivotal game later on in terms of who makes the postseason. Thunder Basin will try and knock off the juggernaut that is the Sheridan Bronx, and Rock Springs will be in Casper. Looking at some 3A matchups, Green River at Lander, that's one to watch. Cody at Riverton, we've talked about that one. Evanston at Vista Ridge, Utah. I'm interested in that one. And, of course, could be a early season litmus test between Jackson at Douglas. 2A, the Cameron Rangers winning last night over Moorcroft, 22-16. Some other games of note: Cokeville hosting West Jefferson. That was earlier this afternoon. I'll get you a score by halftime. Mountain View will be at Rich County, and a big one, Lovell at Bighorn. As far as you 2A West fans out there, that one will be kind of maybe a playoff preview. And that's a look at your roundup brought to you by Sunrise Engineering.
Creating solutions that work and relationships that last. Visit sunrise-eng.com. That's sunrise-eng.com. Roughly 10 minutes away from kickoff between Star Valley in Preston in eastern Idaho. But first, let's go back a couple of years. 10, in fact, when the 2015 Star Valley Braves ended a 19-year state championship drought. John Little takes us back. And it's all presented by Star Valley Medical Supply. Real answers, honest service, and quality home medical equipment. Find them online at starvalleymedicalsupply.com.
Season. They finished with a 2-9 record the year before. Players say expectations were low for the Star Valley Braves heading into the 2015 season. They finished with a 2-9 record the year before. But this was a squad that would break a 19-year drought for a state title, inaugurate a new era of dominance in Star Valley football. Running back Kellen Hansen says the underdog label gave the Braves an edge from the very start. He points to an early 66-21 blowout over Douglas, a team that had beaten them twice during his sophomore year, as the moment Star Valley leveled up in the eyes of the state. Team members credit their signature hidden handoff play as a key to their success. In that play, quarterback Reese Heibel faked a pass to a receiver before handing the ball to the running back. The Braves stayed undefeated until the final week of the regular season, when they met Jackson High School in a knockdown drag-out fight. Tight end Kyler Battleson says that loss to the nearby rival became his favorite moment of the year, a setback that pushed the team to train harder heading into the playoffs. In November 2015, they advanced to the 3A Division Finals to face the Green River Wolves under the University of Wyoming stadium lights. Their last game with Green River was down to the wire. In the final seconds, sophomore kicker Noah Hutchinson stepped up and drilled a field goal, sending the Braves ahead just before the buzzer. Players say the bus shook with excitement as it rolled into Laramie for their second matchup. The team fired up to face a rival they had narrowly beaten before. Hansen points to a play designed to look like a hidden handoff in the finals as his favorite play of the year. On that snap, Heibel signaled a handoff to Hansen, drawing Green River's defenses towards him. Instead of giving the snap to the running back like Green River expected, Heibel slipped the ball to an undefended fullback, Colin McGinley, breaking the play wide open. Hansen says that this play inspired one Jackson High School spectator, Josh Dawson, later transferred to Star Valley to want to play with the Braves. Green River answered their scoreless first half with 15 points in the second half, but Star Valley kept up the pressure. When wide receiver Christopher Erickson intercepted the ball in the fourth quarter, Hansen says he got goosebumps because he knew that the drought was over. The game closed 31-15, giving coach Chris Howell a victorious final season before he transferred to Ridgeline High School.
That is the tidbit of history presented by Star Valley Medical Supply. And now 10 years after the fact, Star Valley working towards their what would be fourth in a row state title should it happen again this year, as it's all part of our first Bank of Wyoming countdown to kickoff. But first, you have the Preston Indians on their home court tonight. Now let's recap this rivalry presented by the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office.
Well, this rivalry goes all the way back to 1951. That was the first game overall in the series. The Braves lead at 13-5. Here in Preston, the Braves hold the advantage 5-2. The last time these two teams met was in Afton, and the Braves won that one 49-13. Looking at some of the trends in this series, Star Valley's won the last three. The Indians' last win was in 2021 right here on this home field. The Braves missed a late field goal, and Preston won that one 28-27. That's a look at your rivalry brought to you by the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office.
Remember, when you're impaired, do not get behind the wheel. Drinking and driving, just don't. From the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office. We do have Millie Kazare sideline tonight. She had the chance to catch up with Coach McKay Young and get his thoughts heading into this game against the Preston Indians. Here's the Miles CPA sideline report with Millie Kazare.
You come to Preston, you know you're going to see athletes, is what Coach told me. They're going to be able to put receivers and quarterbacks on the field, so it's got to be a challenge. Coach feels like we have more depth than them, so we'll see as the game wears on if they can wear them out a little bit. He said it's a hard place to play, different environment, and he's excited to be here. I expect us to take a big step forward. Most of these guys were making their first varsity start. 4 new offensive linemen, new quarterback, and I thought they all played marvelously. And I expected them to take another step forward next. next. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Millie Kazare, with the Miles CPA Sideline Report. Locations in Afton and Alpine. That's Miles CPA. Now let's take a look at the records watch with the help of Star Valley Disposal.
Well, Phoenix Hubby became the 6th player to throw for at least 300 yards in a game for Star Valley, joining Taft McClure, who did it 5 times. Smith McClure, Trace Hatterley, and Logan Abrams. Hubby also joins the McClure brothers and Hatterley as quarterbacks who have thrown 5 touchdowns in a game in a Star Valley uniform. And then you can see a couple of milestones. Cooper Lancaster can pass Joey Swanson tonight with 26 receiving yards. And with 41 yards tonight, Roman Erickson would surpass Cole Battleson in career yardage. That's a look at your records watch from Star Valley Disposal.
Residential, commercial, construction, and septic services. Visit StarValleyDisposal.com. Let's meet the starters of tonight's game for the Braves on offense and defense, presented by Mountain Star Products.
Phoenix Hovey, quarterback, son of Nate and Brianne Hovey, senior, Alpine, Wyoming.
Kyan Watson, son of Stacy and Kevin Watson, running back and middle linebacker, senior, hometown F, Wyoming.
Nathan Hatterley, son of Coulter and Amanda Hatterley, running back and middle linebacker, junior, Bedford, Wyoming.
I'm Will Linford, son of Sam and Lisa Linford, tight end, defensive end, senior, Afton, Wyoming.
Cooper Lancaster, son of Aaron and Anna Lancaster, wide receiver and DB. I'm a senior, and I'm from Smoot, Wyoming.
Roman Erickson, son of Scott and Brittany Erickson, junior, wide receiver, outside linebacker, Rykirk, Wyoming.
Preston Ross, son of Mike and Robin Ross, receiver, safety, senior, Smoot.
Travis Thompson, son of Kyle and Aaron Thompson, junior, wide receiver and corner, Fairview, Wyoming.
Eliam Tautia, son of Lydia and Eliam Tautia, running back, DN, fullback, senior, American Samoa, Luan Setonga.
Caleb Erickson, son of Barton Janet Erickson, running back, defensive back, senior, Bedford, Wyoming.
Eli Christensen, son of Joe and Danae Christensen, senior, play center, defensive end, and I'm from Afton.
I'm Will Walker. I'm son of Richard and Trista Walker. I play outside linebacker and guard. I'm a senior this year, and I live in Fairview.
My name is Ryan Talbot, son of Ashley and Todd Larson. I'm an O-lineman. I'm a senior, and I'm from Alton.
My name is Dane Jensen. I'm son of Wade and Deanna Jensen. I play O-line, D-line. I'm a senior, and I'm from Afton, Wyoming.
Kevin Philliby, son of Jane and Frank Philliby, O-line and linebacker, junior, Afton, Wyoming.
I'm Tate Lawson, son of Heath and Heidi Lawson, tight end, safety, senior, Afton, Wyoming.
Crew Don Joy Morgan, son of Christian and Leanne Morgan, wide receiver and outside linebacker, junior, Afton, Wyoming.
Zach Thompson, son of Kenny and Ginger Thompson, wide receiver, DB. I'm a senior, Star Valley Ranch, Wyoming.
My name is Dax Button, son of Ashley and Kevin Button, wide receiver, DB, junior, in Star Valley.
Dylan Hershey, son of Mark and Krista Hershey, strong safety and running back, senior, Freedom, Idaho.
Starting lineup for the Braves, presented by Mountain Star Products. Let's send it down to the fill for the presentation of the colors and the national anthem, made possible in our broadcast by Hastings Ace Hardware in Afton. National anthem presented by Hastings Ace Hardware here in Preston, Idaho. Still have the coin toss that needs to take place at midfield before we get this game started, rolling and underway. So now let's take a look at your keys to the game.
And you know what, Duke? I only did 3 of them tonight because these are big keys. Key number 1, the Braves cannot afford to have more than 1 turnover. I think that is a big deal tonight against a team with a lot of good athletes, a solid team that's got 1 more game under their belt this year than you do. Key number 2, you need to limit the big plays. And when I say what a big play is, I'm talking 15 yards or more. That's what I consider a big play. The Braves need to limit those. We'll see how many Preston gets tonight. And then key number 3, they need to explore their offensive options. And I was kind of touched on this in the pregame before we even got into the other stuff. I feel like what you saw last week may not be what the Braves do tonight. They're going to explore a little bit and rummage in their playbook and see what comes out tonight.
That's a look at the keys to the game heading into the broadcast tonight and live coverage on SBI. Keys made possible by SBI Media. Have you updated your SBI News app? Do so and find all your local news through the app on the SBI News app. So, Star Valley in the road whites with the crimson helmet, the crimson numbers, what we think might be new pants. Looks like they maybe a little darker crimson pants for Star Valley, the road uniforms, and of course Preston will be in all blue with the white helmet for their home matchup today. Star Valley has 4 out on the field. Preston has 4 out on the field, getting some instructions from the official before he flips the coin and we get this thing underway.
These are details too. No rabbit punches, no kidney punches. Go to the corner, I tell you to. That's what it feels like right now. They're going over all the details here with the officials.
And it looks like Star Valley won the toss. They're going to elect to receive to open up the game.
And Duke, just throwing this out there, one of the captains out there, Preston Ross, number 2, obviously doesn't have his pads on. So just FYI, they're not going to see Preston other than right now. Preston's not going to be in Preston.
It will be Star Valley on the west side of the field and the Indians on the east side. Indians do have a dual threat quarterback, Connor Thompson. He can throw, he can run. He's proven that in the first 2 games of the season for these Preston Indians. And Star Valley's defense will be looking to bottle up that double threat.
Yeah, and you heard Cooper talk about that in the players' spotlight. And you see that actually all the way through. And, we've played Preston now several times over the last several years. They like to sling it, especially up the seam if they can. We even saw that in the freshman game, which was before this one. So, the defensive backs are going to need to have their head on a swivel tonight.
That's it for the First Bank of Wyoming countdown to kickoff. Again, your home for totally free checking, where free really does mean free. Visit gofirstbank.com. That is gofirstbank.com. Again, Duke and Dow with you and the entire SVI Sports crew. We appreciate you joining us live in Preston tonight on SVI Media and Swift 98. It will be Star Valley's return team to take the field first, and again, they'll be fielding it at the sunset side of the end zone here on Preston's field.
And Duke, objectively, this is not even my team, your team. If you're a fan of high school football, this is why you love it. What a perfect night for football and a great venue here in Preston.
Dax Button and Cooper Lancaster back to return. We all know what Cooper's threat is. We saw a little Dax last week from the receiving side of things. He has good hands and he's shifty as well.
Saw Dax a little bit last night in the JV game too. Yeah, he's a good player. He's just waiting for more opportunities and he's going to get them this season.
He's a junior, Lancaster a senior, and the 2 return men as we await the opening kickoff here in Preston. Both teams on the field lined up. There's the whistle. Here comes the kicker for the Indians. It's a squib kick right out of the gate. Goes out of bounds near the 35. Looked like they may have been trying to catch Star Valley off guard. But the kick instead goes out of bounds, and Star Valley, without a return, will have good field position to open up the game.
So, Duke, I was doing a little reconnaissance during the freshman game, and this is not uncommon for Preston as far as their special teams philosophy. They're going to do some things, some pop-ups, some squibs, some different things like that, just to see if the other team's paying attention and if they can feel the loose ball right there. The Braves obviously going to benefit from the illegal procedure, and they'll start on the 35.
Going to have Caleb Erickson playing tight end on the left side to open things up. In the backfield will be Dylan Hershey. Split wide to the right, Cooper Lancaster. Split wide to the left is going to be Roman Erickson, and it's going to be, once again, Phoenix Hovey in the shotgun. It's actually, Kyan Watson at tailback, 43, not 42. Watson gets the opening carry. Nice hole. He's off to the races early. 40, 50, 40 on the other end, and drug out of bounds in the Preston side at the 35-yard line. A huge hole left tackle for Kyan Watson on the first play of the game.
Well, and I appreciate Kyan for not making the math too hard. That was 30 yards. Well, looks like they're actually going to spot him a couple yards shy of that. So 28 yards on the opening carry.
No huddle offense again for Star Valley. Hovey in the shotgun. Watson again the carry, this time right tackle. Nice block, but the hole closes up this time, and he's pushed backwards, stood up across the 30, though, and even though the hole closed, it didn't do it until 5 yards down the field.
Still a nice gainer, though, inside the 30 up to the 28.
Sets up a 2nd down and 5. Star Valley had good field position to open up this drive after the squib kick. Big run on the first play of the game, and now looking at a 2nd and 5 as Nathan Hatterley has subbed in to play tailback. Hovey hands off to Hatterley, up center, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage. Actually does get a yard or two with forward progress. And after that big first down run, now it's going to be 3rd down and about 2.5 to 3 yards to go for Star Valley's offense on the opening drive.
If you're going to have 3rd down, though, Duke, these are the kind of 3rd downs you want. 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, and especially at this field position at this point in the game, this is 4-down territory from what we know about Coach Young and his offensive play calling.
Sends in the larger tight end, Will Linford on the left side, also Sam Gaskell on the left side. They run that way. Matatia, big block, and that'll be enough for the 1st down. Not much past the 1st down, but it will be enough to move the chains on 3rd down. Watson on the carry for the Braves. Pushes the ball inside the 25 down to about the Preston 23-yard line. 1st and 10 after the Star Valley Orthodontics 1st down. 10:27 remaining in the opening period.
And the left side of that line just opened up. That was almost like a saunter for the 1st down for Kyan Watson.
Trips left side. Watson the tailback to the left side hip of Hovey in the shotgun. Cooper Lancaster alone on the right. No tight ends and a flag on the play before the snap of the football. And that is going to be a false start on Star Valley. Makes a 1st and 10, a 1st and 15, and back outside the 25 to about the 28-yard line.
First penalty of the game.
Same formation. Trips left.
You may see a fade here to Cooper Lancaster, bottom of your screen.
Watson, tailback. Instead they go bubble screen over to the left side to Thompson. He has a block up the sideline, gets near the 20-yard line, bumped out of bounds. Clock will continue to roll after about a 7-yard pickup on the bubble screen to the slot on the left side. They'll spot him at the 21-yard line.
And if you're wondering, that sounds familiar. Yeah, Travis, the younger brother of Grant, who was a 3-time All-Stater for the Braves, graduated last year. He's more of a receiver defensive back type, where Grant was more of a tank.
2nd and 8 outside the red zone. Bunch left, this time hand off to Watson going left. Another nice hole. He's upended by the cornerback on that side, but he's able to pick up a chunk of yards inside the Riverside Dental red zone to the 14-yard line to set up 3rd and 1.
We'll call that about 6 yards. Kyan already up to 42 yards on 4 carries on this drive.
Eli Christensen playing center for Star Valley. This time Hovey under center. Pitch back to Watson. He breaks through. Has the 1st down and more. Dragging the tackler inside the 5-yard line. Another Star Valley Orthodontics 1st down. And this time it'll be 1st and goal inside the 5.
That was about a 10-yard gain for Kyan on that one. And again, just a huge open hole there on the left side of that line. Star Valley offense is plowing the road so far here in Preston.
I formation with Matatia playing the fullback. They pitch to Watson. Nice big hole, and he's going to fall across the goal line and in for 6 on the opening drive of the game. The Braves march down the field with 8:38 remaining in the 1st. They strike 6-0 Star Valley.
Kyan Watson has already matched his rushing total from last week for the whole game. He had 16 carries for 56 yards. Tonight he's got 6 carries for 56 already, and we've only played just a couple of minutes.
The ensuing PAT with Carpets Plus Color Tile is up, and it is good for Tate Lawson. 7-zip Star Valley on the SBI Sports Network.
wish you could be the boss of your home Wi-Fi? Well, with Home Zone by Silver Star, now you can. It's like having your own Wi-Fi command center right in your pocket. Whether it's setting up a guest network for visitors, controlling what your kids can access, or checking your connection speed, Home Zone has you covered. With Protect IQ, you'll have a virtual bodyguard for your Wi-Fi, blocking unwanted threats before they reach your devices. Home Zone by Silver Star. Wi-Fi control, coverage, and security all in one.
My name is Kyan Watson, and this is SVI Sports Network.
Had a heavy dose of Kyan Watson on that opening drive. He finishes it off with a 4-yard, 6-point run in the touchdown. PAT's good. Here's the ensuing Carpers Plus Color Child kickoff from Tate Lawson. It's going to go down to the 9-yard line where it is returned by Lumpkin of Preston. He's up to the 20 and stopped shy of the 25-yard line by the swarming cover team of Star Valley. Let's send it out to Jake Hibbard for a studio update from the Hibbard Report presented by the Lincoln County Weed and Pest.
Hey, thanks so much, guys. We got Sheridan and Thunder Basin, and we've got a quarterback lined up as a wide receiver here. That's Torrey Phillips, the sophomore quarterback, fighting Gage Rogers for a 67-yard touchdown. Sheridan on top, shutout, 27-0. Back to you.
Jake Hibbard with the studio report from the Lincoln County Weed and Pest, asking you to do your part to keep Star Valley beautiful and control knapweed on your property. Preston Indians, their first drive of the game on their home field tonight in a hole early, down 7-0. It'll be a tailback dive from the shotgun, ahead for just a 1-yard gain. Connor Iverson on the carry for the Indians to make it 2nd down and 9 from their own 25.
Connor Iverson, he's made some plays the first 2 weeks of the season for the Indians, in particular that game against Shelley. So they got some explosive players. The Star Valley players mentioned that. You know you're going to face some really good athletes here in Preston.
Spread offense this time for Connor Thompson, the quarterback. Trips left, 2 receivers to the right. 2nd down and 9. Wide snap left. He's going to run with it under pressure, and he's brought down by Roman Erickson deep in the backfield. That'll be a huge sack by the defense down to the 15-yard line.
You remember we used to call Roman's older brother Hazen the blonde bomber? I don't know if he's blonde, but he definitely blows up the backfield a lot, as does Roman Erickson. That was a huge loss.
Sets up 3rd and about 19 yards to go now for Preston on their opening drive. He'll come out of the huddle with trips to the right side. In the backfield, his tailback is Connor Iverson, and again Thompson, the quarterback, with 1 receiver to his left in Atkinson. He's going to roll to his right to trip side. Pump fake, fire short, skips off the turf and incomplete. Trying to find JoJo Lumpkin, can't connect, and the Indians will go 3 and out and will be forced to punt deep in their own territory.
Good pressure there from the Star Valley defense, forcing Thompson out of the pocket, and maybe he wasn't able to get quite the snap on his release as he wanted. And as you mentioned, couldn't quite get it to Lumpkin. Would have been well short, but couldn't even quite get it to him to where he could get his hands under the football. Great opportunity here for the Star Valley special teams for field position.
You have Travis Thompson and Cooper Lancaster standing about their own 48-yard line to return the punt from the quarterback. And Thompson, he does kick it away. Nice high kick going over to Thompson, but it's actually fielded by Lancaster. He has a block from Thompson, and here goes Cooper up the sideline, 40. More blocks on the edge, 30, 20, cuts inside, and he's gone. 5, touchdown. Took it up the sideline, then back between the hashes, and just like that, it's 13-zip Braves on top.
I thought I saw a fantastic block, clear-out block to open up that final sprint for Lancaster. I think it was 52, Will Walker, who did that. Boy, Cooper talked about learning from Bryson Neal last year. I think he listened, Bryson, if you're watching.
We do have a Preston Indian slow to get up after that kick return, which will go down as a 52-yard touchdown punt return for Cooper Lancaster. And a Preston Indian up on his hands and knees at the 30-yard line. And before the PAT, we'll have both teams go to the bench. It was kind of an interesting return down because you had Travis Thompson and Cooper Lancaster both there, and Cooper takes the return. Travis actually gave the block that was the initial spring block for Cooper to get the sideline, and then you can see the great downfield blocking, cut back into the hashes.
You can barely see it if you know what you're looking for. Yeah, Will Walker, he is escorting his guy out of bounds for that last 15 yards or so. Great block.
Here's Tate Lawson for the ensuing Carpets Plus color tile PAT. Lancaster will hold. This to make it 14-0 if it goes through on the east side end zone. Snap is good. Hold is good. Kick is good. 14-zip Braves on the SBI Sports Network.
The winter sledding season will be here before you know it. Make sure you're ready for the best winter yet by making your reservations at Kodiak Mountain Resort in Afton, Wyoming. The resort is located just minutes away from some of the best backcountry sledding in the Rocky Mountains, regardless of experience. And with plenty of trailer parking and a large complimentary breakfast, there is no place better to stay while you enjoy the Wyoming winter. Book your stay today by visiting KodiakMountainResort.com. B&H Auto in Afton has been serving the Star Valley community for over 10 years. With a qualified and trained staff, you can trust B&H Auto for brakes, maintenance, repairs, tires, and more. That's B&H Auto on the north end of Afton. Service you can ride on. Get to know your 2025 Star Valley Braves, presented by the University of Wyoming. Just visit SVInews.com/football roster for pictures, details, and more. That's SVInews.com/football roster.
This is Brendan Barber. These spin moves live on SVI.
A 52-yard punt return touchdown from Cooper Lancaster has the Braves up 14-zip early in Preston. The ensuing Carpets Plus color Kyle kickoff from Lawson is returned by Lumpkin at the 10-yard line. On the left, goes to the right hash. He has a hole. He's up to the 30. Here goes JoJo. 50, flag, 40, 30. They won't catch him. There is a flag, and this one's probably coming back. The flag is back at the 48-yard line, but JoJo Lumpkin answers the punt return touchdown with one of his own on the ensuing kickoff, but again, a flag back on the 47-yard line.
I will say the head official has come over and signaled touchdown, so
unless it's on Star Valley, then it looks like they're marching him back.
Okay, maybe he's just dotting his I's and crossing his T's. Yeah, holding there. So the flag is sitting at the Star Valley 47, thereabouts. So that'll wipe off the majority of that. And somewhere JoJo Lumpkin's hamstrings are going, are you serious?
That would have been a 90-yard kickoff return. Instead, they'll give him about 33, it looks like, and spot the ball at the 43-yard line.
And both special teams coaches are sweating tonight.
So after going 3 and out on their first drive and the touchdown taken off due to the holding call on the kick return, we're going to have 1st and 10 for the Preston Indians. They trail 14-0 on their home field with still 6:39 remaining in the opening quarter. Trips to the left side of Connor Thompson. One receiver flanked wide right is Atkinson. Thompson hands off, no play action, bubble screen, caught by Lewis, has a block, and then brought down across the 50 and inside Braves territory. Give him 8, maybe 9 yards, and a good pickup on first down.
A well-blocked bubble screen like that is, if you got a quarterback that can zip it out there and put it right on the numbers like Thompson can do, that is something you can basically do all night long. And then you're putting a lot of pressure on those guys out in space. If they can't get off the block or make the tackle, they can spring for big plays. That one a good solid 9 yards.
2nd and 1. 2 receivers flanked wide to the right side. Handoff Iverson. First down and more across the 45 and down to about the 40, maybe even 39 to move the chains for the Indians further inside Star Valley territory.
Gain of 9. So a couple of chunk plays back to back for Preston will move the change. You can see Crew Morgan in there on the tackle, number 8.
No huddle, quickly back to the line. Hand off again, Iverson. This time he's brought down from behind by Crew Morgan. You called his name right on cue, just in time for a TFL of 2 yards.
Well, and we called Crew's name quite a bit last week as well. Watch number 8 knife through here. Look at that. And he had some help a little bit afterwards, but you saw number 81 coming in there.
It's going to be a 2nd down and 12 now after the tackle for loss. This time Preston will huddle up with the clock down to 5:13 remaining in the first quarter. Indians looking for their first score of the game. Trips again to the left side. Wing back on that end as well. Here is a play action again, bubble screen. This time a big hit in the backfield by Travis Thompson. He wasn't blocked that time. He blew that play up. It was a 1-yard gain, but that's it. Big hit from Travis.
So I talked about being able to get off the block on these bubble screens. Travis Thompson blew right past his guy, and he arrived shortly after the ball got here. 24. By that point, he's already passed his blocker, and gain of what? I think one? A gain of one?
1 yard on a pass play. You'll take that on 2nd and long. Now it's 3rd and 11 from the Star Valley 40-yard line. Connor Thompson in the backfield, but there is going to be a whistle. And they're going to say Thompson has to come out of the game. I'm not sure why, but they're sending him to the sideline. He'll be replaced by Caleb Erickson. And Erickson comes in to play right corner.
Could be an equipment thing.
Yeah, the official right there next to him blew his whistle and said, you got to go. So Erickson comes in for this 3rd down and 11.
Preston 0 for 1 on 3rd down so far.
Connor Thompson in the shotgun again. 3-step drop, looking center. Flushed out, rolls to his right, being traced by Matatua. Still being chased. He throws, caught, but shy of the 1st down. Tackled by Roman Erickson at about the 37-yard line. And in that no man's territory, we'll probably see Coach Reese go for it here on 4th down and about 7 yards to go. Thompson back into the game. He'll take a spot on the right side corner. Zach Thompson playing left side. You have Dylan Hershey and Cooper Lancaster, the safeties, to round out the defensive backfield. 7 in the box defensively for Star Valley on a 4th down and 8 yards to go from the Star Valley 38-yard line. Braves defense looking to get off the field. Thompson to throw, time, now he's flushed out, rolls to his left, flag on the play, caught on the run by Atkinson. He's ridden out of bounds, shy of the 1st down. Was a flag anyway, but I think Coach Young declines that because the result of the play is a turnover on downs.
Travis Thompson is the one who made sure the receiver did not get across the line to gain. That's number 1, Connor Iverson with the catch. And the ball, I believe, is going to be spotted about a yard short, and that'll be a turnover on downs after Coach Young declines it.
And that's exactly what happens.
Good job by Travis Thompson. He had to come out, come back in, come all the way back over to the other side, and stopped Iverson from getting the 1st down.
So it will be Star Valley football with a 14-0 lead. 3:08 to go in the 1st quarter. Football on their own 31-yard line. Longest field of the game so far for Star Valley after the opening kickoff went out of bounds. 2nd touchdown came on a punt return touchdown of 52 yards from Cooper Lancaster. Hovey is going to be in the shotgun. He'll have Nathan Hatterley with him in the backfield. Hatterley to the right, handoff to him to the left. Has blockers on the way, and he's able to get across the 40, almost 10 yards, if not 10 yards, really close to another 1st down.
The down official is saying he's got enough. And they're going to move the chains, so you got 10 yards there for Nathan Hatterley.
That'll be a Star Valley Orthodontics 1st down. No, they're going to say short. No, they do. Okay, so the chains didn't get the initial signal.
I was going to say the chains are like, too bad. We already walked up here 10 yards.
So 1st and 10 from the 41. Handoff again, this time to Watson. He's able to get away from 1 tackle, but not the next. Forward progress will give him 3 yards up to about the 44-yard line. And that will set up 2nd down and about 7 to go for Star Valley.
I brought this up last week. Kyne's one of those guys, one of 2 guys on the team that the bench squat deadlift over 1,000 pounds in the weight room. And that one right there, Preston was on him at the line of scrimmage. He still gets 3 yards. That's where all that work comes in handy. You still get 3.
2nd down and 7. Lancaster in motion. Throw ahead to him. Has a block on the outside, and there is going to be a flag. There's going to be a block in the back. Lancaster all the way across the 50. 40 dances down to the 35, but finally tackled inside the 35, but this is coming back with a block in the back against Star Valley. Flag sitting at the 43-yard line.
Cooper battling all the way down inside the 35, but much like JoJo Lumpkin on that kickoff return earlier, all for naught other than just pride and effort.
So they'll call it a hold, is what the penalty will be, a yard behind the line of scrimmage.
This will be 2nd and 18, somewhere in that range.
March the ball back to the 34-yard line. So a 17 yards. This looks like it's what it's going to be officially. Shotgun again for Hovey. This time he'll have the draw play. Hands off to Hatterley. Has some room. Broken tackle 40. Here goes Hatterley, 51st down. Inside Preston territory and then bumped out of bounds near the Indian 40-yard line. That's going to be a huge gain on the carry off the draw and a Star Valley Orthodontics first down.
Gain of 26 on that play from Nathan Hatterley.
Spot the ball right on the 40-yard line. As the clock rolls down to 1:25 to go in the opening quarter, Star Valley on the move again with a 14-0 advantage.
Right now, the Braves running game, that was carry number 10. They have 97 yards and a touchdown, so you'll take 9.7 yards a carry any day.
Back in the game is Hatterley at tailback, trips to the right side, tight end on that side as well as Linford. Hand off to Hatterley. And ball's out, and it's going to be Preston football. Ball was poked out by the Preston Indians, and they will recover the fumble. And Preston ends the drive with a turnover. 56.8 seconds to go in the first quarter.
JoJo Lumpkin came up with the recovery. It was poked out of there by number 21, Benjamin Herbst. 22, Evan Gibson. I apologize. So Gibson pokes it out, and it's recovered by Lumpkin.
Indians with a little life after the turnover. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Turned it over on downs inside Star Valley territory on their second drive. This drive will be at their own 35-yard line. 1st and 10, trailing 14-0 are the Preston Indians with 56 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. Connor Iverson in the backfield for Preston. Connor Thompson, the quarterback. And a hard count draws the entire defensive line of Star Valley offsides, and that's going to be a 5-yard penalty.
This happened a couple of times last week against Shelley on that long sustained drive where Shelley basically said, we're just going to run the ball almost 4 downs. And so the Braves have been a little guilty, maybe being a little over-aggressive in the first 5 quarters of the 2025 season.
Well, needless to say, the coaching staff didn't like that. I mentioned all 3 defensive linemen jumped, and all 3 have just been subbed out. So a new front 3 on a 1st down and 5 to go.
Well, I'll paraphrase it, but Bobby Knight used to say the best attention you can get a kid is to put him on the bench.
Here's 2 receivers to the left, tight end right, receiver right. That receiver's going in motion across the formation. There's going to be a handoff, though, straight back to Iverson, who's pushed back. He does get to the line of scrimmage. Well, they might even say loss of 1. Yeah, they did not get back to the line of scrimmage. That'll be a 1-yard loss on the play.
53, Cash Thompson right there to stand him up. Had some help afterwards, but Cash right there to make sure Iverson wasn't going anywhere.
So sets up a 2nd down and 6. Ball back on the Preston 39-yard line. Trips to the right, 2 to the left. Spread formation. Nobody in the backfield but Thompson, the quarterback. Looks to throw, quarterback keeper up the middle, hit the backfield, broken tackle. Still tries to run away, gets back to the 40, and he eventually drugged down by Kyan Watson. Will be a gain of about 2 on the quarterback keeper to set up 3rd down with the clock rolling down to 2-1, and that will take us to the end of the first quarter. Braves lead up 14-0 in Preston. 2nd quarter on the way after this on the SVI Sports Network.
What are you doing?
I'm teaching customers the power of patience to reduce stress while they wait to talk to somebody about their vehicle issues.
I don't know, man. Sitting like this is stressing my legs out.
He doesn't have to wait. He made an appointment online. When his car is ready, we'll give him a call.
Now that sounds less stressful.
Another satisfied customer.
No stress with Point S.
The Bank of Star Valley would like to congratulate Ryan Talbot on being this week's Man of the Week. Congratulations, Ryan.
My name's Ryan Talbot, son of Ashley and Todd Larson. I'm an O-lineman. I'm a senior, and I'm from Auburn.
Here's more from Duke and Dow with live coverage of Star Valley Braves football on the SVI Sports Network.
Second quarter underway in Preston, where the Indians on their home field facing a 3rd and 3 from their own 42-yard line, trailing Star Valley 14-0. It's going to be a handoff to Atkinson, hit in the backfield and drop for a 2-yard loss on the play. 4 white jerseys of Star Valley back to hit Iverson as soon as he got the handoff. Forward progress for a yard. It's going to be 4th and 4.
Well, we talked about Cash Thompson, 53, number 58 right there, Dane Jensen as well, and Crew Morgan, who I think has a secondary summer home here in Preston, in the Preston backfield.
He's made quite a few plays just like that already in the game today. And Preston is lining up as if they might go for it, maybe trying to call Star Valley offsides again. It is 4th down and 4 from their own 41-yard line. We'll see if Thompson actually calls for the snap. Hard count. Backers show motion up the middle, but they don't jump offsides. 3 down lineman for Star Valley holding steady. Thompson again calling for the ball. He does take it. Pressure thrown, and it is caught. Or is it incomplete? Did he haul it in? No, they say incomplete. Ball hit the turf. And it's going to be no, now the other official says catch. So it is a catch and a gutsy throw on 4th down to move the chains for the Indians.
About a half a yard in front of what he needed. Not seeing anything to say he didn't catch it there. And yeah, gutsy right there. That was fourth and a long 4, and they got about 5.
1st and 10 for Preston as they stay on the field, now up to their own 47-yard line. Iverson behind the quarterback, low snap, picks it up, hands off to Iverson. Nice hole, broken tackle, pushing the defense backwards, and he's going to have a 10-yard gain, nearly a 10-yard gain, maybe a 9-yard gain, pushing the ball inside Star Valley territory to set up a 2nd and 1.
Had a great hole to work with that time from his offensive line, did Iverson. And then he is a strong downhill kid, gets those last couple on his own. You got to like 2nd and 1 right here for Preston. You might take a chance going deep. They do like to throw up the seam.
Clock hits 10 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Thompson hands off instead to Iverson. Goes left side, brought down behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a short loss on the play. Crew Morgan again.
He gets up a little slow, but he's not playing slow at all. We have seen number 8 in the backfield constantly over the first 6 quarters of this season.
He's going to get a breather. He'll sub out of the game, does Crew Morgan. Spotting him on this play is going to be William Walker. So Will line up as the right side backer.
Preston still hasn't converted a 3rd down yet.
This one 2 yards, 3rd and 2. Here's a pitch outside to Iverson. Broken tackle, hit, broken that tackle, and the extra effort may be enough for a 1st down. It's going to be close. See where the official spots it. It is just enough by half a yard. So good hard running for Iverson moves the chains on 3rd and 2, and the Indians remain on the field offensively.
Iverson put himself in a great position to finish that run. He squared up his shoulders. He had his momentum. The Braves had a shot at him, but they didn't have the angle or the momentum to stop him right here at the end. You can see, I think it's Dylan Hershey tries to get him, but at that point, just don't have the momentum to bring him down before he's going to cross that 1st down marker.
1st and 10 now from the Star Valley 42-yard line. Hand off again up the middle. Iverson broken tackle, and then the cavalry arrives, but again, another 3, maybe even 4-yard gain on the 1st down carry.
In there, number 87, that's Tate Lawson, and also Sam Gaskell, 36, in on that stop. Excuse me, that's Will Linford. I apologize. Will's in there. Will did not play last week, but he's playing this week.
Sets up a 2nd down and 7 to go for Preston with 8:40 remaining in the second quarter of play. Star Valley leading at 14-0 on the Bank of Star Valley scoreboard. 2 receivers left with a tight end on that side as well. 1 receiver to the right. Iverson, the tailback. Hand off to him. Another nice hole, but slipped a tackle, and he'll have another 1st down. Brought down near the 30. Has enough to move the chains on a 9-yard carry.
Well, I was just noticing him. Watch 54, Kai Phillips. for Preston. The next time you get a chance, he was kind of pulled over and was the lead blocker for Iverson, and he is a big, stout kid. And at that point, Iverson, he just tucked in like he was running behind an ambulance with his lights on.
1st and 10. Preston putting together a little drive here in the second quarter. 8 minutes remains before halftime. Star Valley hoping to hold on to a 14-0 lead. This is about the point on the last drive where the defense forced the turnover on downs. Here's another handoff. Not a good exchange. They do get the handoff off, but a tackle in the backfield for Star Valley. First one there, I believe, was Cash Thompson.
Yeah, I don't know if they're best friends or not, but Cash Thompson and Dane Jensen have been combining for quite a few plays tonight, and they met in the backfield with Iverson that time.
That will be a loss of 1 on the play, pushing the football back to the 31-yard line.
And even though Preston's had a couple of good chunk runs, 8, 9 yards, 10 yards, right now, 13 carries, 17 yards. If you're Coach Merritt on the defense, you'll take that.
2nd and 11 now from the Star Valley 31-yard line. Trips to the left side. Thompson calls for the ball, clapping his hands. He'll have it with the 3-step drop. Pressure up the middle, flushed out to his left. Officials there. There's a flag on the play, and that pass is knocked out. There's going to be interference, though. We have 2 flags, one in the backfield and another in the secondary. I believe they're going to get Star Valley with a pass interference just a little early before the ball.
Just a hair early. And I think you might have offsetting penalties here, a holding on Preston and then a pass interference on Star Valley, and they'll probably just redo the down.
Official will say a hold on Preston and a pass interference on Star Valley as if he has Dowell in his ear.
Well, you are with me all the time, Duke, and you know how wrong I am, so it's nice to get right once in a while.
So offsetting penalties, redo the down. Remains 2nd and 11.
That was an interesting thing, though. You saw Sam Gaskell just flying in there, and Connor Thompson was able to slip just enough to use the official as a little bit of a screen. He's crafty back there.
Redo. Mulligan, 2nd and 11. From the Star Valley 31, Thompson claps, and Star Valley jumps off sides again. That'll cost him 5 yards and turn a 2nd and 11 into a 2nd and 6.
4 penalties totaling 36 yards for the Braves so far in this first half. And that has happened more than once today. Happened a couple times last week as well, and the staff will continue to harp on this D-line and see if they can get that solved.
6.5 to go. Second quarter, Preston inside the 30 now, down to the 26. Thompson again claps his hands. This time he has the ball. Quick throw to the right. Caught, no, dropped. Trying to find Kilton Atkinson. He maybe have felt the pressure coming from behind from Travis Thompson to lay the hit, and he drops it.
And that is actually the first incomplete pass of the game. A first official incomplete pass. Phoenix Hubby's 1 for 1. And up to that point, Connor Thompson had been 5 for 5, and now he's 5 for 6.
Sets up a 3rd down in 4-down territory, most likely. 3rd down and 6 to go.
Preston,
ball spotted on the 26.
Preston 1 of 4 on 3rd down in this first half thus far.
JoJo Lumpkin, he's one of the track stars on this Preston wide receiver crew. He's flanked wide left.
And they've got more than one.
Snap. Here's an end around. Atkinson has it, and he's hit from behind by Kyan Watson. Will be stopped shy of the 1st down, but makes it a 4th and manageable now outside the 20-yard line. It'll be about 4th and maybe 1.5 yards to go.
I'm not sure whether to call that a shovel pass or a pitch. I'm going to call it a shovel. Give him a pass. But as you mentioned, he'll be just a little bit short, gain of 5.
They'll call it 4th and 2 down to the 22-yard line. They need the 20 to convert. They've already converted 1 4th down on this drive. And trying to get another one here. 4th and 2 for Preston. Braves defense wanting to get off the field. Shotgun for Connor Thompson. Iverson, the tailback.
Braves just about jumped again.
Thompson looks to the sideline. Now calls for the ball. This time he has it, hands off to Iverson, and he will have the 1st down, wrapped up and whipped down, but across the 20, and that will be enough to move the chains and convert a 4th down for the 2nd time on this drive for the Preston Indians, putting them inside the red zone.
Will Linford was right there, but Iverson met him basically at the yardage that he needed to gain, and he was able to push forward and move those chains.
Clock rolls down to 5:18 to go, and what's Turned into a pretty lengthy drive time-wise for Preston. They're pushing, about 5 minutes or so right now, I think, on this one, as they're inside the 20 down to the 19.
It kind of reminds you of that second quarter drive of Shelby last week. They really went into 4-down running territory and just chewed up the clock and chewed up some yardage.
Star Valley comes down in the box defensively, almost a broken play. Spin around handoff to Iverson, and he breaks around the outside right. Broken tackle, still running until he's whipped out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Hard running from Iverson. That looked like it could have been a broken play in the backfield, but he turned it into something for a pickup of 5.
Credit to him, but also credit to the Braves. A lot of those defenders were headed the other direction. The guys that were left made the play they needed to make. Otherwise, Connor Iverson probably would have been celebrating 6. You can see Travis Thompson over there, Kyan Watson as well.
2nd and 5 inside the red zone are the Indians, trailing Star Valley 14-0 with 4:10 remaining in the second period.
Kind of loading up the left side of that line here.
Thompson calls for it, pitch outside to the left. Trying to get the corner, a big collision, and it will be positive yards on the carry down to about the 10. Should be just shy of the first down for Iverson to make it 3rd and short at the 10-yard line.
I've got Iverson with 14 carries already in this first half.
He's definitely been the workhorse.
I've got him 14 carries, 41 yards. Preston will go for on 3rd and short here. They've converted 1 of 5 on 3rd down in this first half.
Braxton Lewis flanked wide left for the Preston Indians on 3rd and 1. Iverson remains the tailback with Thompson in the shotgun. Handoff to Iverson, cuts left and will lunge ahead for the first down. Was hit initially at the 10 at the line of scrimmage, but he lunges ahead to pick up 2 yards. And that will set up a 1st and goal from the 8-yard line for the Preston Indians. Clock rolls down to 3:11 to go before halftime.
The offensive line for Preston's done a really nice job of opening up the initial seam for Iverson to work with. The Braves have rallied to the ball, and Iverson, it's been kind of hit or miss in terms of getting big yardage or no yardage, but they have kept this drive going with his legs.
He's still in the backfield. Man hobbling in motion. Now they're going to set up the screen on the play action, rolling, and throwing it away. Outside the pocket was Connor Thompson. He did have Lewis in the area, but he was covered and lobbed it over his head. The defense stayed home on the potential screenplay.
That's a really smart play by Connor Thompson because you basically are overriding your hardwired coaching. Since you're a kid, you want to complete that pass, but he knew it was going to be a loss and the clock was going to run. So he just threw that out of bounds on the run, by the way, across his body. That's what you should do. But it kind of goes against what your natural inclination is.
2:45 to go. 2nd and goal at the 8-yard line. And Star Valley will jump off sides.
Boy.
5 yards inside the 10. That'll push him inside the 5 now, down to about the 3-yard line. And make it 2nd and goal from there. Actually at the 4.
Yeah,
so they're at the 9 to the 4.
Half the distance. So yes, 2nd and goal, but now you're inside the 5. You can really bunch up the guards and the tackles in the center and push forward now. You saw that a lot last night with the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm not going to use that phrase. I hate that phrase. And I hate the Eagles.
Here is the 2nd and goal from the 4. 2 receivers to the right for Thompson. Hands off to Iverson. Has a hole, looking for the goal line. Hit from behind and drugged down short of the line to gain. No, the second effort, and he gets in. I thought it was down, but he kept the legs churning, and the officials come in and signal touchdown Indians. 2:36 to go, and a PAT away from cutting the lead in half.
Again, look at him. He tucks in behind 54, who might have got away with a little bit of jersey holding, but it's going to be a 4-yard touchdown for Connor Iverson on his 16th carry of the half.
Here's the ensuing PAT for the Preston Indians. Snap, hold, kick is up and good for Tyson Coons. 14-7. Star Valley on top. Kickoff next on SBI.
Live coverage of Star Valley Sports on the SVI Sports Network is made possible by TerraPower, a nuclear innovation company. The Right Company, your local siding and gutter experts. Call Ready Mix, located north of Afton. Miles Beverage, proud to sponsor Star Valley Sports. Hillam Orthodontics, generations serving generations since 1966. And by Star Valley Glass and Lock, automotive, residential, and commercial glass.
It's my happy day, I want to sing it all the day. My best friends are always with me. We sing, we dance, we laugh, we are happy every day. Have fun with us, let's say happy, 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 happy.
Watch this game and all SVI sports broadcasts live after the big game at SVInews.com. This is the SVI Sports Network.
Big return after the kickoff, and it's going to be tackled around the 30. Caleb Erickson on the return after another short kick for Preston.
That flag came in right at the very end. That was a terrific effort from Caleb Erickson. He had to kind of scoop this up off a little bit of a mishandle, and that was about at the 27. And then he takes it all the way over, almost up to the Preston 30, which is where the flag is. The ball was officially at the Preston 32. It's going to be a block in the back against the Braves, but it looks like it happened literally as the play was ending.
So it does negate some of the return with the ball spotted at the 32.
That is a heck of an effort from Caleb Erickson, though, because a lot of times, you know, you wouldn't even be that sad as a coach if you just fell on it to make sure you keep the ball. Instead, Caleb picks it up and takes it 30, 40 yards.
They'll spot it at the 40 in great field position for Star Valley. They still hold the lead by a touchdown, 14-7. Play action, pump fake. Now rolling to his left, sets, fires deep, looks for Gaskell, caught, touchdown! Look to his right, came back to his left, rolling in the bomb to Sam Gaskell in the end zone, and the Braves answer for 6 more.
40 yards. Watch this play. Phoenix is looking to his right. The guy's double covered. He says, I can't do that. And then sneaking behind JoJo Lumpkin is Sam Gaskell, and Phoenix lays that right up to him. That was a terrific example of Phoenix Hovey showing what it's like to put in your 4 years and get your chance as a senior.
Tate Lawson with the ensuing PAT to take a 14-point lead. Snap, pulled, kick, good. Braves strike quick, 21-7 on the SVI Sports Network.
There's no place to enjoy the fall season like Alpine, Wyoming. Enjoy fly fishing on the Salt and Snake Rivers, camping and hunting up the Grays in the Wyoming Range, hike the trails in the Bridger-Teton National Forest, or bring your off-road vehicles and enjoy the backcountry. And with plenty of lodging and dining options at affordable prices, you just can't beat the fall season in Alpine. Experience the fall season like Mother Nature intended in scenic Alpine, Wyoming.
At First Bank of Wyoming, we know you're more than just a number. We know the important numbers that matter most, the ones that tell your story. From starting your financial journey to planning for your first home and reaching your family's financial goals, we're here to celebrate your story, not just your transactions. From milestones to memories, we're here to celebrate every moment that counts. When you bank with us, you're part of a community that cares about every number that counts. First Bank of Wyoming, where you're more than a number.
This is Sam Gaskell, and you're watching the Braves on SVI Media.
Sam Gaskell on the 40-yard touchdown reception, a one-play drive after the big kick return, and the Braves answer quickly to regain a 2-touchdown lead, up 21-7 with 2:17 to go before halftime. Lawson, he'll squib kick it, big bounce over the head of the upback, and then picked up by the returner. He's going to be hit at the 30 and drop down about the 33-yard line. So the Braves do a little Preston Indian style kickoff there, and the Indians will return it up to about the 33-yard line.
Yeah, the special teamers have been on their toes tonight.
Now, that was such a great play on that by Phoenix Hubby. His line did a great job giving him time. A lot of times, here's a look at it. You see holds when they were expecting the play to go one way. Hubby comes back the other way, and then just dropped a dime to Gaskell.
And I give credit to Phoenix because he was looking for the seam first, and Preston had two guys on that receiver. I didn't see who it was, but goes over and finds Sam Gaskell.
Going to be a flag on the play before the snap. Two officials throw it. Looks like a false start. It will be the call this time on Preston. And pushes the ball inside their own 30. 1st and 15 now from the Indian 28-yard line. Clock stops at 2 minutes, 12 seconds to go. And Star Valley with the 21-7 lead. Quick strikes for the Braves. They march down the field on the ground on their opening drive, then a punt return touchdown, and then that bomb pass to Gaskell of 40 yards. Here's a throw. Has a man down the seam, but overthrew him. Trying to find Miles Henry, the junior, between the hashes, and overthrew him. Incomplete. 2nd and 15.
And the way this first half has gone, the Braves defense, especially the secondary, is going to have to be vigilant because Preston hasn't necessarily thrown downfield much other than that one, but they are certainly capable.
Preston's Connor Thompson remains in the shotgun after the incompletion. 2:07 to play before halftime. Hand off to Iverson. Hit the backfield, sheds the tackle, and then picked up by the rest of the defense, though. Hit behind the line, and what could be another loss on the carry. And a timeout taken by Coach Young to stop the clock on 3rd and long. 1:56 to go. We'll take just a 30-second break here. Star Valley up 21-7. Hoping to get the ball back, 3rd and long when we come back on SVI.
In the heart of the Rockies, land is more than property. It's a legacy. Whether you're buying a family ranch, a mountain retreat, or selling farmland, it takes local knowledge and trusted hands. Austin Callison and Andy Neal, licensed in Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming, bring unmatched experience with Hayden Outdoors, the West's premier land brokerage. Hayden Outdoors Real Estate, the brand that sells the land.
Here's more from Duke and Dow with live coverage of Star Valley Braves football on the SVI Sports Network.
3rd and long for Preston, about 17 yards to go with the clock stopped at 1:56 before halftime. Ball inside their own 30. Pump fake. Fire deep right sideline and out of bounds. Overthrew Kilton Atkinson. And the incompletion stops the clock so Coach Young can keep that second timeout in his pocket. No flags on the play, and we'll see 4th and long, and out comes the Preston punt unit.
Well, that was a little bit of a hitch and go there by Kilton Atkinson, and he got the space he needed. Thompson just a little too much air under that one.
Last time the Indians punted, it was a big return for Cooper Lancaster. Took it to the house. Once again, it's going to be Cooper and Travis Thompson this time. He'll be standing at about the 40 and 35. Kick is away over to Travis. It's going to be short, angled at the sideline. Hits a Preston player, I thought.
So it should be down.
Yeah, there the official says it hit a Preston player. And
it's going to be should be about the 44. We'll see where they actually walk it. Well, they're not going to do it. It actually hit the Preston player at about the 44 from my vantage point, which means it should be a dead ball from where it was touched. They're walking it to the 41, and that looks to be the consensus of where that ball is going to be spotted.
So a 59-yard field in front of Star Valley in the 2-minute drill. Coach Young on the field expressing his displeasure on the spot.
Well, it happened right in front of him. I don't blame him.
So instead, he's going to have a 59-yard field, 2 timeouts remaining, and 1:41 to go before halftime. Trips to the left side of Phoenix Hubby in the shotgun. One receiver wide right is Lancaster. Have yet to see a big pass to Cooper. Will it be here? Looking to the left. Instead, they go big pass to a wide open Button. Dax dropped it. He was falling backwards. It was kind of a tough catch. He had already started to fall when the ball reached him, bounced off his hands, and incomplete.
Hung up just a little bit so he couldn't just catch it in stride. So, as you mentioned, Duke, he had to turn back. And it ends up hitting him right in the hands, but your momentum is going all the way back like that, and I'm Sure, a lot of times he'll bring that in, just unable to do it that time.
Incompletion will stop the clock at minute 34. Still two timeouts remaining at their own 41-yard line. Empty backfield for Hovey. Calls for the ball, looking left. Steps up, fires middle field, has a man, Thompson, caught this time on the run, and breaking the tackle down to the 5, brought down inside the 5. That will be a horse collar tackle to add the penalty half the distance to the goal at the end of the catch, and Travis Thompson down the seam.
I think it's about a 57-yard, you can see right there at the end. Boy, Phoenix Hovey, does he float a nice ball or what? Right in stride that time to Travis Thompson. Travis just about takes it in. There you can see the horse collar. So it'll be first and goal at the 1, in essence, after a 57-yard gain.
And now Coach Young has all the time in the world. 1 yard away, and how does that 4 yards look now on the spot? Just saying. Minute 23 to go. Now the clock is rolling.
It's funny how some games those turn out to be the game of inches, and other games, we don't care. It doesn't matter.
Star Valley has the full playbook here. They huddle up and try and burn some clock, so in the event they score, they're going to leave as little as possible for Preston. Now they break the huddle at the 10-second count. Quickly to the line of scrimmage. Hovey under center, I formation. Hatterley in the backfield. Turn off and hand off to the fullback. Mount Tautia, who leaps over the line. And Eli in for 6. 27-7 Star Valley. Here's the Fall River Propane replay.
This should be a great replay. You can see Mount Tautia flying through the air. 235 pounds, and he lands in the end zone for 6.
Tate Lawson out for the ensuing PAT. Comes with 54 seconds before half. Snap, hold, kick. He remains perfect. 4 for 4. It's 28-7. Star Valley on SVI.
Get to know your 2025 Star Valley Braves, presented by the University of Wyoming. Just visit svinews.com/football roster for pictures, details, and more. That's svinews.com/football roster.
For 18 years, Miles CPA has been your trusted partner in Star Valley, blending experience and expertise to support our community's financial needs. With a combined 75 years of experience, our dedicated team includes 3 skilled CPAs, along with 3 specialized bookkeepers. We're thrilled to welcome Amanda Wilford, our newest CPA, to the Miles CPA family. Together, we offer unmatched services in bookkeeping, payroll, business consulting, and tax preparation. Your financial success is our priority. Miles CPA, always a strong supporter of Star Valley Braves sports and activities. Go Braves!
Mount Tautia, a leaping 1-yard touchdown run to cap off the drive after Travis Thompson had a big catch to put him inside the 5 down to the 1-yard line. And here's the ensuing Carpus Plus color tile kickoff from Tate.
This score was 14-7 with 2:39 to go in the half. The Braves have scored twice in a minute 37.
Here's the kick, another squib kick right down the middle of the field. Takes a bounce all the way down to the 15. Picked up by Lumpkin. JoJo broken 2 tackles, 30, sideline 40, and JoJo again. This time he's wrapped up from behind. Finally pulled down, but all the way inside the 35-yard line. It was Mason Pack who pulled him down to save the touchdown. And now Preston in business with all 3 timeouts and 43 seconds to go.
Another reason not to give the Indians any more time than you have to. Yeah, well, Mason Pack saved the touchdown there. Number 20 got enough of Lumpkin to bring him down. Ball spotted at the Star Valley 35, but Preston in business here with 43.5 seconds to go.
So Preston has 3 timeouts. Star Valley used their timeout earlier, and so they have all kinds of time here from the 35. Lots of time in the pocket, now flushed out, rolling left, being chased, He will be sacked. Staying with it was Kyan Watson, and a big sack in the backfield. That will force Coach Reese to call a timeout with 33.7 remaining.
Loss of about 6 for Kyan, so not this strong, but fast. Look at that pursuit, fighting through the stiff arm attempt. And yeah, the ball really spotted about the 41, loss of 6 there for Connor Thompson. He's been sacked twice now for minus 16 yards.
Coming back after the timeout, Preston will face a 2nd down and 16. Now they haven't connected deep down the field yet, but we've seen some close ones. And we've talked about how these outside guys for Preston, they have a couple of the track stars that can really get down the field in a hurry.
Well, we've seen JoJo Lumpkin a couple of times show you what he can do in the open field. So even a screen, he can break it open. Connor Iverson's been kind of bottled up. He's had to work for all his yards, but he's capable. Earlier we saw McCoy Keller. He can do it as well. So yeah, Preston's got athletes. It's just a matter, can they convert that athleticism into 6 points here before the half?
Well, they got 6 more yards to do it thanks to the Kyan Watson sack with 33.7 remaining before halftime.
Great matchup here, bottom of your screen. Travis Thompson on Lumpkin.
Thompson in the shotgun. 2nd and 16. Man in motion is Atkinson. Looks to the right side, steps up, in trouble again, and he'll be sacked again. This time it was Roman Erickson to push the ball all the way back to the other side of the 50-yard line, and another timeout called with 26 seconds remaining.
Roman, I think, was there first. Ryan Talbot right there with him. Not a lot of teams can say you got 2 returning All-Staters back. Star Valley has 3, and 2 of them met in the backfield right there.
3rd and 25. Back-to-back sacks for the Braves D. Another timeout by Preston back here in 30 seconds on SVI.
In healthcare these days, you just don't find a place like Star Valley Health. We really do focus on providing the best care.
Our employees take so much pride in their positions. They know that if their kids get sick, if they get sick, if somebody gets in a car accident, that there is that personal tie.
They get to see the change that they make in their life, so it's fun to be involved.
We are Western Wyoming's leader in live coverage of high school sports. This is the SVI Sports Network.
After the Preston timeout, they have 1 remaining, but now a 50-yard field to go, 26 seconds to do it, and 1 timeout, 3rd and 25. Screenplay batted in the air and intercepted! It was batted up by Will Linford, and then Roman Erickson dives for it to intercept the football. And now Star Valley will have it with the chance to score. Drama before halftime, and big plays by the defense. Sack, and then a batted ball for the Oski.
Well, and this is you really have no choice. You want to be aggressive because you want to try and carve into this lead, but that is the gamble you make when you don't just go into the half. And this time it didn't pay off for the Indians. As now the Braves with 21.5 seconds to try and add to this 21-point lead.
And 2 timeouts and a 42-yard field. And as we saw the last 2 drives, that can be done in a quick hurry. 4 receivers in for the Braves. Hovey to throw, fires to the sideline, caught by Roman, and he will not go out of bounds. Now he does go out of bounds. Shook the tackle to go inside the 25, and we'll get down to about the 22, 21-yard line, and 13 seconds remain.
21-yard gain for Roman Erickson. That's his first catch of the night. The Braves have not thrown it much tonight. In fact, that's just the 4th attempt. Phoenix Hovey, 3 of 4.
Because every time he throws,
4 of 5.
Every time he throws, it's a touchdown.
See, 4 of 5, but yeah, he's got 125 yards and a touchdown.
1st and 10. Just outside the red zone for the Braves. Hovey in the shotgun, calls for the ball, rolls to his left, trips that side, looks downfield, sets his feet, comes backside, runs. He can still throw, does, into the end zone, caught for another touchdown. Cooper Lancaster on the scramble drill. In the end zone for 6 more, and the Braves with a big defensive stand, and then they score again before half. 3.9 seconds remain, and it's 34-7.
So the last time when Phoenix Hovey found Sam Gaskell for that touchdown, he was going from his right to his left. This time from his left to his right. I think it's time to say Phoenix Hovey's pretty good at throwing on the run.
Now 3 touchdowns in 2.5 minutes. It was 14-7, as you said.
Well, there's still 3.9 seconds left.
Yeah, here's the ensuing PAT from Lawson. It's good.
Hats off to Lawson, too. He's been perfect tonight, 5 for 5.
35-7. Star Valley on top. We'll take a 30-second break and the kickoff next on the SVI Sports Network.
Star Valley Disposal and Royal Flush Septic have been serving the local community for over 25 years with residential, commercial, and construction services, along with porta potties and septic pumping. Please remember to always bag your garbage before placing it into your can. Even the smallest breeze can cause garbage to scatter everywhere as it is being dumped into our garbage trucks. For service and questions, visit StarValleyDisposal.com. That's StarValleyDisposal.com.
I think being in a small town, you just really care and you take more pride in the work that you do because you're working with your neighbors. These are people that you see out in the community. You know, you see them at kids' sporting events and parent-teacher conferences and the grocery store. You know, these are our neighbors.
One of the reasons that people also come back to us is they trust us because we are friends, we are family. And so I think there's a lot of trust in the community.
Tate Lawson with the ensuing Carpus plus color tile kickoff. Another squib kick to the right side. Just kicked it out of bounds, so there couldn't be any chance of a turnover or any chance of a touchdown on the return. But how about the Braves? The defense on that last series now before the touchdown, the Star Valley defense went sack, batted ball in for an interception, and then a pass play to Erickson, and then a scramble pass play to Cooper in the end zone. And they scored just like that.
Well, this goes to show you how Mr. Momentum can gather his steam rather quickly. It was 14-7. Preston had just finished a very sustained drive over 7 minutes to cut the lead 14-7. And then in the next basically 2.5 minutes, the Braves score 3 times.
Just 3 seconds. We'll see how aggressive Coach Reese is here from his own 35-yard line.
You might as well huck it now.
Yeah, you got a receiver to do so, but instead they just hand off to Iverson. He's going to break a tackle, but can't get away from the second. Gaskell will get the tackle, and that will take us to the locker rooms and the Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine halftime show with the Braves on top in Preston. Your halftime score, 35-7. In this one, let's send it out to Jake Hibbard for our Hibbard Studio report here at the half and a look at what's happening around the state of Wyoming tonight. Presented. Jake, take it.
So much. So we've got some games today that are on, some games that aren't on, and the 4A schedule, by that I mean there's a lot of no live feeds today, so we'll get you the games that we do have live feeds to in 4A. And let's go ahead and start that one off with a pretty big one. Sheridan and Thunder Basin. So Sheridan Thunder Basin is, just a second here. Get that right up there. There we go. That's how we want it. Okay, so let's roll the tape. So this is our first wide receiver pass highlight of the year, and it's a sophomore quarterback actually lining up as a wide receiver. That's Torrey Phillips finding Gage Rogers for a 67-yard touchdown. Sheridan in the third quarter now leading Thunder Basin 27-13. Cody and Riverton's been a big game. Lots of scores so far. Take a look at this. Who's that? You remember from last year? Jerem Beardall's the running back this year. Number 0 gets the big score, puts Cody up, and Riverton comes crawling back. Here you see a big throw from Gantenbeim to Clay Sheets right now. As I see right there, that score 41-24 in the third quarter, not over yet. Lander up over Green River, and a nice little throw from Paxton Hollingshead to Finn McFadden for the touchdown there. The score 28-9, Green River trails Lander. Douglas and Jackson. I didn't know how good this game would be as we see Douglas take a 14-6 lead there. And now most recently, Douglas goes up 28-12 with that read option. Jackson getting a couple of scores in so far, but Douglas looks to be superior. We just went to half there. And Evanston, guys, can't get a live to tape feed, so we don't know what's going on other than they are losing to Vista Ridge. But before I go, let's get a first of the year. Let's go to our first ever quad box. Yeah, the first ever quad box, if I can get this to come down here, folks. Just a second. Why would the quad box work when we want? Here we go. Here's the quad box of some live looks. You can see Lander 28-9 over Green River, Sheridan over Thunder Basin 27-13. The most recent score, I think we're at half still, 28-12 for Jackson and Douglas. East, that one just went final as they defeated South 66-0, and we see in the third quarter right now, Cody still leading Riverton 41-24. That's it for me right now. I'll catch you in the second half.
You're pulling out the quad box, Jake. The quad box. That's your Lincoln
Quad
County
box.
Lincoln County Weed and Pest. Jake Hibbert, Studio Report. Help keep Star Valley beautiful. The Lincoln County Weed and Pest asks you to please treat knapweed on your property, homes, and businesses. Contact the Lincoln County Weed and Pest for details. In the Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine halftime report in Preston, Star Valley on top 35-7 on the SVI Sports Network.
Where do legends come from? Some start as dreamers, even after they're turned down again and again. But everyone deserves a chance to prove themselves.
You know, this is the place that gave me an opportunity to come here and play the game that I love.
At the University of Wyoming, we're the team that believes you can do anything. This is where underdogs come to shine and where real MVPs are made.
Working at Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine is more than just a job. For many, it's a multi-generational career path. It's a way to provide a suitable living for you and your family. It's an environment based on the well-being of each and every employee, with an intense emphasis on safety. So whether you're a recent high school graduate or nearing retirement, visit Simplot.com and select careers. That's Simplot.com and select careers. Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine, a world of career opportunities.
This is Braves football and the Star Valley Health Halftime Show on the SVI Sports Network.
Halftime coverage presented by Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine.